Hey everyone, Falling Star here. In this video, I'm just going to talk about the Chinese test server that just opened. I'm not going to talk about the global test server, other people are going to talk about it, plus I haven't even registered. And I assume it's the same thing since I don't think global will be getting any exclusive content. But before that, I want to talk a bit about the roadmap that got published recently. Because the English version of a roadmap is actually pretty vague, compared to the Chinese version, which is very, very precise and has a lot more information. Of course, this is just a test server. This isn't the full release, so things might change between here and release. Hell, it might even change from here to the global test server happening in a week. Anyways, let's get started. I don't have much to say about whatever's on the left. It's pretty specific, honestly. However, on the right is where it gets vague. I don't really know what hot potato means, or what guns for summer splashes mean. However, I do know that hilarious and big will be this thing called big head mode. This game mode was a limited time game mode from the Pop Team Epic collab that happened on the Chinese server back in like November. I guess it is being brought back without the collab elements. The game was pretty chaotic and fun. You obtain points, your head gets bigger, you gain more power, you get more HP. Just chaos in general. Back to the roadmap. The Chinese description for domination roughly translates to, they say it's about the factions fighting over a type of resource, not crystal mine. So for those of you that have played the Chinese server and have played crystal mine grab, it's not that. I don't know if that game mode is ever going to come to global. The melee weapon is like a lightsaber of some sort. I'm not sure how it's going to work or how they're going to differentiate from a katana, but the Chinese description says a lightsaber secondary, so I guess we'll be getting a lightsaber secondary. The legendary skin, or the red skin as I call it, is probably Meredith, although I've seen some people say that it's Yigiri, according to some leaks, but I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. Now for 2025 fall, the first thing says melee weapon, hint, light. The Chinese version of a roadmap says a new bow character. And that's about everything I have to say about the roadmap. The rest either I don't know or are pretty self-explanatory. Now let's move on to the main reason why a lot of people were playing this test server, Outbreak mode. The gist of Outbreak mode is basically that there's 15 players, 12 humans and 3 zombies at the start. If a zombie kills a human, the human respawns as a zombie. I've heard it's pretty similar to what Crossfire has, however I haven't played Crossfire before so I don't know. I have played Game for Peace's bio mode, which is pretty similar. Of course, Game for Peace doesn't have that roguelike element, but it's pretty similar, as in there's 15 players, 3 zombies, 12 humans, zombies infect humans. And the last 3 humans become this giga OP monstrosity that can and will kill all the zombies with like 2 swings of a katana. What this game adds though is this roguelike element of collecting cards and becoming pretty powerful. For example, at the cost of reduced damage, you can stack enough cards to have 90% damage reduction. You can build your waifu to be as tanky as humanly possible, like I got the Madalena in the previous clip. You can build your waifu to be as deadly as possible with many damage buffs. Or you can also build it to be as fast as possible to out-parkour all of these zombies. It's a pretty chaotic game mode in general and I love it. My only complaint is that I want it to be released sooner so I can play it without packet loss. Currently I'm playing with like 3-5% packet loss, which may not seem much, but it is lagging my game and is affecting my experience. I don't get any packet loss on the official server, I only get it on the test server. I don't know why. Maybe it's because the server is in Nanjing. If you want to watch gameplay for it, I should have a link below with all the gameplay that I filmed. You can check that out if that's what interests you. Actually, no, scrap that. I have one complaint. Please fix your UE4 crashes, I Dream Sky. I've had this issue twice already. I don't really want to have it a third time. Please fix! Moving on to the general changes and balance changes. Firstly, of course, we got Mara, a new scissors character that wields an SMG that can also bypass armor. Kierces has a really good video about her that will link in the description if you want to know more about her. I'm personally just gonna skim through her skills. Mara uses an MP5 just like Yvette, however Mara's MP5 has slower fire rate and slightly higher damage compared to Yvette's MP5. Her passive, Soul Breach, allows her to deal a small amount of damage against all enemies that is not full HP. I'm guessing this is going to be pretty good if it combined with Meredith. Her active skill, Soul Strike, casts a hand forward that bypasses all walls and hits the closest enemy. When the hand hits an enemy, the enemy has an orb that appears on their chest. Mara can hit this orb and bypass all shield and deal directly damage to the HP. However, she only deals a portion of the damage compared to what she would have dealt if she hadn't hit the orb. Her ult, Death's Descent, will mark the closest enemy in front of her for death, which will silence them, which is similar to Nobu's ult, and reveal the marked enemy to Mara, similar to Fuchsia's Q. If Mara scores a kill or an assist on the marked enemy, the mark will transfer to the nearest opponent until either Mara is dead or the timer runs out. Her tactical skill, or C skill as I like to call it, Gravewalker, allows her to go invisible while in paper mode, while also gaining a speed buff in paper mode. She will get revealed if she goes too close to the enemy, but during her ult, her reveal range is shorter. Speaking of a C skill, you can now use the tactical skill in payload mode. Now you can summon a 1000 HP wall with Yvette with one click. And Ming has a flash. Now for the general changes that's applying to every single character, you probably have noticed, but every single character has 150 HP now. And yes, this does mean that with a single kill, Fuchsia can now have 190 HP. So yes, this means that a heavy armor Fuchsia can now tank 280 points of damage. In theory, because you probably still want to go light armor. While we are on the topic of armor, with a 50% buff to everyone's HP, armor has received a nerf. Now, round 1, you still have 40 armor, or 45-50 depending on who you're playing. However, the light armor upgrades now only adds 30 armor, and the heavy armor upgrade now only adds 50 armor. Another thing changed with armor is that it now has a regeneration rate of 2 at its base. This means that heavy armor will also have a regeneration, although it's pretty weak and light armor still wins out because light armor regenerates 8 armors per 2 seconds now, and heavy only regenerates 2. I think the biggest change with this HP buff and armor nerf is that round 1 fights are going to be longer. I asked Gengu what he thought about this change. He said he liked it. I personally like it as well because this means that round 1 fights aren't going to be as short. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments. I'm curious to see what you guys think about this. Anyways, along with the shield and HP changes, there has also been some paper mode changes. Now the amount of damage that paper mode reduces is decreased. Before it's 40%, now it's 33%. As you can see, in the test server, Audrey's gun did more damage. This is not because Audrey's gun got changed. It's only that the paper mode damage reduction got reduced, so she's able to deal more damage. Second last general adjustment I will talk about. In the patch notes, iDreamSky had optimized input registration for all semi-automatic weapons and optimized recoil performance of all weapons. I don't really know what that means specifically. I can't really notice on some of the ARs. But I do know that DMR recoil got buffed. Now, especially if you take the recoil control upgrade, there's basically no recoil on any of the DMRs. The last general adjustment is that guns no longer slow people if they tag someone. So before, if you get hit, you get slowed by a bit for a short while. Now that is no longer a thing. Of course, Madalena's passive still works. She still slows and reveals footsteps when she hits someone. That hasn't changed. But that short slow debuff no longer exists when getting hit. Moving away from general changes and more to the character-specific changes. You probably noticed in the Reichi clip I showed you earlier, but there is no more 180 man anymore. He now only deals 159 damage, even if you buy both the damage upgrade and the headshot damage upgrade. But maybe it's not too bad, because he's still 2 shots at all ranges and his recoil is easier to control. So you have a better chance at landing those 2 shots. Who knows? Galatea's gun has received a huge adjustment. She now has 700 fire rates compared to before where she had 595, however her damage got nerfed by a lot. A side grade, so her gun is more suitable for close range combat. In this patch, Ming herself got slightly adjusted. Her gun now has a fire rate of 600 compared to the old 595. She deals about 1 less damage across the board except for headshot at close range, which she now deals 2 less damage. However, her passive now does something new. She now deals 10% extra damage on enemy armor, as long as she uses a gun. So as long as she uses her main weapon or any secondary that is not katana or flamethrower, she deals 10% extra damage on both enemy armor and enemy summons. Baimo got slightly buffed in this beta. His gun now holds 10 ammo instead of 9. He now gets 4% of his cooldown for his Q back from each pellet. I guess this means he can refresh his Q cooldown with 1 less shot. And he got slightly reduced spread and he got a new upgrade. His new upgrade is triggering passive will require 10 less damage dealt, which means he now only needs to deal 40 damage to trigger his passive instead of 50. Leona's Q got buffed quite a bit. She now holds 10 charges instead of only 8. The energy it takes to summon a block is changed from 25 to 20, meaning that she can now place 5 blocks before exhausting instead of only 4. And her cooldown got reduced from 45 seconds to 30 seconds. Her yellow upgrades got changed a bit as well. The upgrade that added 100 HP to her blocks now adds 150. And the upgrade minus 20% energy consumption is now changed to minus 15-second cooldown. Lastly, her passive got a new upgrade, plus 50% string energy recovery, so she can place down more blocks faster. Okay, this upgrade is for you Yvette mains. Her passive now no longer gets interrupted by her jumping or running a short distance. Last character change, Madalena. Her base damage got buffed slightly. However, her headshot damage upgrade got nerfed, as the headshot damage multiplier with the headshot damage upgrade got changed from 2.15 to 2. There's also quite a few changes to the blue upgrades for all the characters. You can see them on screen right now. There's also changes to the blue upgrades of each individual character. So for example, Baimo has lost its increased pellets upgrade in favor of an increased base damage. But because this video is already too long, I'm gonna leave that to you guys to find out for yourselves. Anyways, thank you for watching everyone. Like and subscribe if you like this content. I would like to thank Wig Kai for supporting this channel. If you want to support me more than simply just subscribing, you can buy a membership. It costs $1 and I shout you out in my videos. Anyways, I'll see you guys when the next test server comes out. For now, bye!